Wow. I think that would have been when we were just starting out with feedback. I remember at one point, because I'm an architect and I'm in charge of pretty much the build up of the whole cafe. I'm the type of person who wants to be there all the time to make sure that the contractors are getting it right, to make sure that all the drawings are sort of followed exactly. So I was pretty much there from early morning to late at night, and with the contractors, making sure all the tiles were done right. And at night, I think there was equipment coming in. They couldn't fit the fridges in the lift, and then they had to bring in a crane. So we were stuck there till like I think past midnight. So it took the full day of work. Yeah, that's one of the days, very memorable days that I remember. But after that, of course, there are a lot more hectic times. There are times that your baristas will call in sick, and me and my husband would have to do a full shift at the cafe every weekend, because weekends are there's no weekends for us. Weekends don't exist. So when Friday night comes, and for you folk, you're like, yeah, weekends here for us. I know weekends, So totally the opposite, pretty much.
Anyone, any questions?
No?
I got a question.
Good.
When people say you do business with partners, you do close friends, relatives, it's always end up. Ending is always sour. So, what kind of advice would you give to friends to go with
My
partners?
husband's just standing there, so I can't say anything.
Give me a yes.
Yeah, but I think we're very lucky in a way that we have a very mutual understanding of what our roles are in the relationship and in the business as well. So what's important, I think, with the business is if you're working with other partners, all of you have to have very specific roles to play, which are different. I felt that has been very useful. So for me, I'm the only creative artsy one in between the four of us for Yellow Brick Road. So when it comes to all the creative decisions and design decisions, I'm the one who makes it, and they trust that I'm the best person to do it. When it comes to things like finance or with like accounting stuff, my husband's in charge of that. So no one touches the money stuff but him. Yeah. And the other partners have very specific roles as well. One of them's in charge of PR, event marketing. The other one's very much operations based. So I felt that, with that kind of segregation, that has made it very easy for us to work with each other. And as long as we trust that, all the partners have it covered, then yeah, we won't step on each other's tails.
Hi. Sorry, just one question that we got. Which came first, design or the product? Being someone with architecture background, so and then did that help with you having that background to come up with the ambience of the design? Because that's one thing I have to say, I'm a big fan of both of your rating back and is the design aspect of the cafe.
Okay, very interesting, because I actually apply a lot of what we learned in architecture school in the designing of the cafes. So, how with buildings or with designs, first you have to come up with a very strong concept. And after you come up with the concept, you have to come up with sort of like sketches of what will follow that concept. And after that, you have to do the 3D plan sections, elevations, whatever. So I did follow that design progression path. So like I said, with Yellow Brick Road, the first thing was to come up with the concept. And the concept, which was very strong, was the fact that, it was four of us and we were still kids at that time, we were very young at heart. And I wanted to bring that sort of character to the cafe, which is why we use fairy lights downstairs. I sourced chairs downstairs that are normally used for weddings, just to evoke that kind of feel that when people sit down, they feel like they're in a little wedding kind of environment again. So even little details like that you would design a house or you would design a building with. with, and so I tried to bring it into the whole design of the space. Yeah. So yes, I would say the design came first, definitely. Anyway.
Are we all set to be the next Yellow Brick Road owner?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can tell that Lynn is very much involved in the production itself, in the setup, and even in the running when she spies a little person there sitting unattended, she breaks halfway whatever she's doing. Hey, service. That is a trait, and the fact that Lynn says there are absolutely no weekends, I think the takeaway for entrepreneurs will be there's no such thing as the weekend. And it would be safe to say that for the next how many years?
For the first year that you're out, you have to pretty much be hands-on. I think that's what I would believe in.
So for oh sorry, yes.
As a matter of curiosity, when did you graduate as an architect?
Wow. Let me see. If I tell you my age, will that help?
That's evading the question. Let's not be evasive. Only one person in this country is allowed to be evasive.
Yeah, 2000. I would say 2001, 2000.
2000 and
Yeah. Serena, is that right? That's around, no? 2000. Oh, 2004. I was in the same batch as Serene, so we're about the same age. But I think your course you graduated first. So 2004, around there. Yeah. 2004. Around,
2004.
yeah, around that.
Now, when you graduated, you came straight back, or did you work in Australia?
I worked in Australia for
How
2
long?
years. For 2 years?
For 3 years, then
Yeah.
you came back,
Yes.
and were you practicing architecture?
Yes, I was practicing in a design architecture firm for about 3 years before I ventured into the F&B industry.
What was which was the last straw that made you give up architecture?
Actually, it wasn't that I was so traumatized by architecture that I wanted to leave it. So it wasn't that I hated it so much that I wanted to leave it. It was more that I saw opportunity somewhere else that I thought had more potential than just staying in the office and just working my way up as a draftsperson or as an architect. So yeah, I would say I can't see myself in an office doing a 9 to 5 and working my way up as an architect and using the best, being the best of myself doing that. So I think I knew I had to come out and do something proactively. So this was one of the directions to go, I suppose. Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking all this is really because you made a very decisive decision to study architecture, and architecture is a damn tough course. It's 5 years. You probably did in 4. And after going through that, then you throw that all away. Something must have happened. I like to hear that. I like you to narrate your journey, because what you have now is a great testimony of your determination. What prompted the trigger of that determination?
Like I said, I know that if I wanted to be a really good architect, I had to stay in the field for at least 20 years, work my way up, before I had that power in a way to design my own buildings, to do my own thing. Whereas at that point, I knew that if I came out and I did, I could, if I started out this cafe with my husband or this juice business, I could make more changes and be responsible for more things and to create more things, more quickly and to make that change more quickly instead of just staying in the industry and building my way up. So I think it was that realization that I just wanted something, I wanted something to change more, a bit impatient, I didn't want to just work my way up 20 years and after that work under someone telling me that I had to design this building a certain way. I wanted to just sort of step up and do it myself. And I guess, that was what spurred me to do that.
So essentially, your creative urge has been taken over by entrepreneurial.
You could say that, I guess, yeah. There's always the need to create something. And personally, I don't think I would have made such a great architect, to be very honest. I don't think I would have made such a great
Put yourself
architect.
down like that. You never give yourself a chance.
Yeah. Whereas, when it comes to things like this, I felt that it was more of my niche, that I could do it better.
Sorry, Lynn, I have a question for you. Are you architecture graduate?
I was.
You were. Do you intend to become an entrepreneur after that?
Sorry?
Do you intend to become an entrepreneur after that?
I'm actually very disappointed at the architectural profession today.
Yeah, but looking at what you're doing today is very good.
That I don't call myself an architect anymore. I call myself an imagineer and a conceptioneer.
That's what I told myself as well. I have an interesting story. One of my best friends who is also from UNSW, who was, I think, Australian-born Hong Kong girl, she quit architecture as well, and she pursued her passion in jewelry design. And she is now a very, very successful jewelry designer in Australia. She designs men's jewelry as well. And she was in the same batch as me. We were like partners in crime. And I feel very proud to see that as well, that, architecture as a degree has sort of nurtured so many creative spirits. So it doesn't really matter where these spirits go. So she's really successful in jewelry designing. And another one of my friends who did a course with us is into fashion designing now as well. And I'm doing this stuff. So I think it's really good that it doesn't matter where the end line is. The degree has given us so much power to do all this creative work.
Sorry, you saw an opportunity to change the cafe industry since predominantly it was all focused by Starbucks and coffee. To have a really, really good cafe where there is where the essence is on the ambience and good food. Did you saw that as an opportunity at that time?
I saw that more of a gap in the market. And even to this day, I can't get rid of that architect in me that, when I go into another cafe and I see that there's no soul in it, it's all Pinterest, sort of copy and paste, concrete walls, light bulbs with exposed lighting, kind of thing. So I've given talks before to, design schools in KL and also to fellow entrepreneurs, telling them how important it is to bring in concept, to bring in soul into cafe design, into interior design. And that's something that I'm very passionate about. So on the side.
I think I will be quite safe in saying that architect corner. Yes, I must be quite safe in saying that. And if I'm not wrong, in 10 years' time, we will see that corner moving to this side together. So please, applications still open with the Yellow Brick Road. And if the gentleman over there would like to persuade them to join your side, I want a broker charge. All right. I think was the gentleman wanted to ask a question.